I had a little time to build over the weekend, and I wanted to take a quick minute to explain some of the techniques I'm using to build this massive daily bugle building. Because not only am I using a ton of snot bricks to do a lot of the different work in details to the exterior of the building, but as you can see here, I am building some of the building in snot as well. For those that don't understand, snot building is when it's studs not on top. And in this particular case, what I'm doing is I'm using Technic bricks in order to give me my breaking point. And I'm doing that for a specific reason, because I wanted to have this beautiful looking greebling right here. And to me, this was the easiest way to accomplish that. Something I know a lot of people are really curious about is how I'm able to accomplish this particular unique shape. And one thing that you'll probably notice is you'll see that I have, this is some of the Freeland Wade cable that I actually sell on my website. And I've also talked about in previous videos how you can purchase it yourself. This is Lego compatible tubing. This is actually intended for hydraulics in factory settings, but because it is 3 millimeters in diameter, it works perfectly with Lego as well, and it comes in a variety of colors. But the reason that I'm specifically using that in the building is I wanted my corners to be very strong. To get this shape, this rounded shape of the building, I had to do some really goofy angles. And it's accomplished by doing this particular technique right here. You can see I'm using a lot of the 1x2 round plates, and then I'm stacking them together. And I'm doing that technique for a few reasons. One is because there's a hole all the way through it, which allows me to slide this tubing through it. The other reason, though, is quite simply this. When you're using that part, it allows you to have flex, which is what's giving me the ability to do these goofy looking corners on the building. And it is making the flat iron building a very easy task to do. To give you a nice view of the nose, you can see that it works really well. And this is another way of showing you exactly what I did over here to accomplish that beautiful greebled technique. I'm hoping you can see that clearly now. And simply by using this tubing, this front piece is just held together really well. Another technique I am doing, though, is on the inside of the building, I've did a bit of a honeycomb effect. And what I mean by a honeycomb effect is I have interior support walls running from side to side. And there is a multitude of reasons that I'm doing that. Number one, I want to make sure that the walls will stay apart and will stay nice and rigid. So that way this is easy to transport, because I fully intend on taking this entire building to Lego shows with me once it's completed. And as with all the buildings that I do, I intend on illuminating it. And in order to be able to illuminate it to me in a proper manner, I don't want to have every single window in the building lit up. And by me having these various spaces like this, I can light up this corner and this spot, and then I'll have other spots of the building that are still dim to give it a more natural and really cool looking effect. Real quickly to show you, this is how I've accomplished the interior floor for the building. And yes, there is a slight gap at this one portion, but it's not that big a deal because you can put furniture on the inside of the building and make that go away. But what I'm doing on the walls that come this way, I'm simply using a hinged plate, and then it's every 18 studs. It allows me to connect it to bring the walls across. So every 18 studs, and I actually have a wall over here as well, but every 18 studs I have a wall that comes from one side to the other. And then I even built a wall that comes in here and then attaches over to this wall. And because of the goofy angle and that little gap that's in the floor, again, I am using this awesome little piece. And that's how I've actually connected that one interior wall piece. I'm at a point on this particular build now where I have to stop because I've made some structural changes and I don't have the parts to do everything that I want to do. So now we have this floor, and I still have to do a little bit of work on the front to finish it off. Second and third floor are fully completed. And now the fourth floor will be that detail. And then after that, I have 2 stories of this pattern, followed by, I think it's 10 stories of this pattern. And then I get back to some really crazy greebling, which is what this particular section of the building is right there. Hopefully I'll be able to show you guys another update video here really soon.